Now, one of the most important steps when it comes to you actually building your ultimate fitness business is the transition period. This is going from where you are right now to where you want to go and what you actually do in those steps in between. And that's why I want to bring on and introduce you Ed Dale, a guy that I've learned so much from, and I'm so happy that I'm able to share with you this episode. And this is so important, as for myself, I was a personal trainer in Dubai. I had trainers working for me. I had a full book. I was charging a premium amount, but the problem was I was stuck in the personal training biggest problem. It is the time for money trap. So for me, outside looking in, I was running a successful fitness business, but I wasn't getting what I want. I didn't have the freedom that I want, and I wasn't having the impact into the amount of people that I wanted as well. So I had to go through the transition period of figuring out, how do I go from a full book of personal training face-to-face to running now the online businesses that I do today. But there's a gap and you need a transition period right now. So that's what I was like, why don't we just make things maybe a little bit smarter, maybe being able to say increase your effectively hourly rate, reduce the amount of work that you do. So therefore you can get a little bit more time, so you're doing a little bit less, you're still keeping the income coming through. So it's a beautiful thing, because I remember, I think it was Ramit Sethi, he was saying he doesn't take anyone on board that is in debt. Like if you've got credit card debt or anything like that, you're not going to be in that right mindset for it. And I was like, that's brilliant. But obviously there's that transition period. So how do you, Ed, help someone go through that transition period?
Such a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up, because you talk about one of the like that exact, using that exact example. You know, there's a bit of a movement, you know, for burn the ships, you know, hey, dump your entire PT business and throw yourself into online. That's what the people do, burn the ships, you know, so you've got no choice. So you go back and you make it happen. You make way or force your way in, and that's crap. Right? Here's the thing. I've been privileged to watch 450,000 people start an online business. I'm probably, in terms of people starting out an online business, there's probably nobody who's had a front row seat to that many people doing this.
Totally.
I can count on one hand, with 3 fingers chopped off, the number of times burn the ships has actually worked.
Wow.
Where somebody has just collapsed. What typically happens though is people save up, because they're so excited about, oh yay, I'm in my online business, oh this is fantastic, I'm so, oh this is great, and they spend their first 2 months watching every webinar that they missed out on and all the brainstorming sessions and all that sort of thing, and that's fine. And they get about to the halfway point of where the money starts to become an issue, and then they go, oh, I actually haven't done much, I better get cracking. And then you run into a different type of stress, because the money's starting to run out. You've spent 4 months of your 6 months and you're completely stuck. So your advice to that lady was exactly the correct advice. Yeah, maybe wipe down, if you're a personal trainer and you want to transition to an online business, awesome. But don't cold turkey it. You want to be able to have your you want your rent paid. You want all of this sort of stuff.
Yes.
But something that I know is people completely overestimate the amount of time they have to spend initially getting stuff started, right? Just to get that transition happening.
Yes.
You can do it in such a way that it's not all or nothing. You can do it, and just by carving out that 25 minutes, 50 minutes a day, but regularly make it a practice. And let's face it, all you fitness lot, discipline's your middle name. You're awesome. I wish I had a modicum of the discipline you guys have. Right? So that should be, so you know what it's like to dedicate 25 to 50 minutes. So all we're saying, right, Chris, is, hey, take that same dedication and apply it, because 25 minutes or 50-minute workout for your online business, that's what you need. You don't need to chuck all the baby out with the bathwater, and then you transition, right? So you make your first dollar, you get your first online clients, and then you'll get to the point where you may be able to get down to 1 day a week where you're doing it. And then eventually it'll be, you can be completely online, and that'll be awesome.
No, so true. It's funny because I've had people say similar things, and looking back, it was literally having to wake up 45 minutes earlier. So I had to wake up at 4 a.m. so then I could have between 4 to 5 a.m. to actually write content that then was going to go online to obviously start the process. And it was getting the first 10 clients on board, to then I was like, okay, fantastic. We made the move. I was actually in Dubai at the time, so I actually packed everything up. We left Dubai, we moved to Bali. I had 10 clients on board. I knew everything was starting. It was awesome. But the big problem is in the first 2 weeks, 5 of my clients I lost because they weren't the right fit. I didn't actually the actual acquisition wasn't right. So I was like, holy shit. But obviously made it work as we go through. But fantastic advice. The next thing that popped up, and I had to write this down, is the time dedication that you, I know this is a broad strokes question, but the time dedication that you recommend people for that transition period, how do you answer that?
I think it is really, I say, look, can you hey, if I'm coming to you to train, Chris, you're not going to put me through the super punishing workout, because let's face it, I haven't seen a dumbbell in, well, probably since high school, and that was a long time ago, right? So you wouldn't put me through. Maybe you would, but no. Seriously, no. Yeah, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't put me through the mega punishing workout, right? I'm saying the same thing here. So take half an hour and just carve out half an hour, 5 days a week. And as long as they're action-based, you're building momentum, you're doing things, and you've got step-by-step things that you can do, then that is the key, right? That's the key. So literally half an hour, 5 days a week is a good place to start. And then you can get, then you can maybe make that half an hour an hour. Yes. And then because here's the thing we know, right? When it comes to creating and business marketing and all those sorts of things, let me tell you, the best people on the world, right, the most successful people on the world, can't spend more than 2 or 3 hours a day on the creative part of the business. Your brain doesn't have the capacity. Your glucose level, your energy, your willpower level will be it's as much as if you go run a marathon. Okay, there's some crazy people who can do 2 marathons a day, but as a general rule,
fair enough.
Right, they are indeed insane. But here's the deal, right, is that as you build that up, you work that muscle, you do that. There's one other point that and it segues nicely into this, Chris, is one of the things that we realised when looking at the challenge, there are different types of entrepreneurs too. Yeah. There are some people that will prefer video, like we're doing. You and I can get on video and we can talk till the cows come home. Yeah. We are super. But if you ask me to write a blog post, I'm in terror, right? That is, I can do it, and I can actually do a good job, but the amount of energy it requires for me to do that, and that's what we realised. There are different types of entrepreneurs, and it's very important that you gel, and there's never been a better time. It's so exciting for everybody who's listening to you, right? There's never been a more exciting time to design the business a way you work, your strengths, right? Your strengths, and let the weaknesses be handled by people who it's actually their strengths, right? And there's never been a better time. Unfortunately, we're taught from first day of school, basically, never be wrong, always be right, right? And never, and never ever, just don't do drafts and be wrong and make it messy and all that sort of stuff. No, it's got to be perfect when you commit pen to paper.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we take these things through with us as we go through, and we're told constantly work on your weakness, work on your weakness, work on your weakness. And so we spend so much time working on our weaknesses, we ignore all our strengths. And that's that's a tragedy. And mate, that was only a realisation. That was a forehead slapping moment for me only a couple of years ago.
Now, I'm so happy that you're able to soak up what Ed Dale has for you. He is the Mr. Miyagi when it comes to being able to craft an online business and do it the smart way as well. Now, really, I see 3 options for you right now. Number 1, you can click off, never watch my stuff again. I'm completely cool with that. Number 2, if you want to get started, you can take the Fitness Business Quiz, and I'll pop a link below for you to be able to take that. This is simply going to match you up with the guide that can be the best steps for you going from where you are right now to where you want to go, so you know what you need to do in this transition period. Or if you've really had this vibe with you, you've seen the other episodes, you've seen what the other coaches have been doing, and you want to see if you want to be able to come on board the program, then you can click the link below to be able to apply to come on. Let's have a quick chat to make sure that we are the right fit to work together first, because let's be perfectly honest, if you want kebabs and I'm selling pizzas, this isn't going to be a good fit, because no matter how good my pizzas are, you want kebabs and that's not going to work. So let's make sure that this is the right fit, but even more importantly, let's actually put together the plan that is what you need to follow, so you can see crystal clear what the transition period needs to look like for you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Now it's time for you to get the most out of this, and this is where I can jump in and give the answers that you need. So ask your questions in the comments below so I can personally come through and answer them for you. Plus, the best discussions happen on chrisdufay.com, so click on over to get everything that I've got there for you. And did you like this episode? Because if so, click subscribe so I can send you all the episodes to come for free straight to you. And for everything that I can't fit in these episodes, plus the free guides and coaching episodes, then click on over to chrisdufay.com now. Looking forward to seeing you soon and in the success community.